Finally got the recording in. Okay. So
Yes and all. 7, 9, 10, 3, 7, 7. How many ducks in all? 3, 6.
did this go live yet?
How many pencils in all? 8.
Did it say it's recording for you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
How many pens in all?
So
3.
so let's go into this chapter. What can do?
4.
Yeah.
How many stars in all?
So this conversation is happening between Vidura and Maitreya Rishi, and Vidura is asking these questions. You know, the discussion happens at different places, right? One conversation is being recollected, which was spoken before. So sometimes Srimad Bhagavatam says Vidura is talking to Maitreya Rishi, but then within that conversation, we know that Sukadev Goswami had speaking this Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, who was about to die in 7 days. And then Suta Goswami is describing the same conversation to the sages of Naimisharanya. So sometimes you'll see Suta Uvaja, or you'll say Sukadev Uvaja, or Shuka Uvaja.
5.
And then sometimes you would see like Vidura Uvacha, Vidura and Maitreya conversation. So all this is captured conversation within conversation. And if you can look at the storytelling in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's just so amazing. Even in the movies you see today, you will just see one level, right? Like a flashback of what happened or something like that. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 4 or 5 levels like that. One conversation within another conversation within another conversation. So just see how well Vyasadeva has written his Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So then the discussion goes into the description of Prasuti. So we just discussed Akuti, who married Ruchi Rishi, and then we discussed about Prasuti. Devahuti was already discussed, right? So Prasuti had 16 daughters. So Prasuti married Daksha. So Prasuti is the daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, and Prasuti was married off to Daksha, just like Devahuti was married off to Kardama. Now, Daksha is a very exalted Brahmana, and also a person whose service is to create a lot of kids. So he and his wife Prasuti had 16 daughters, and this the 16th daughter is Sati. And you must have heard about Sati Devi. Sati Devi married Lord Shiva. And Maitreya Rishi mentioned that Sati Devi did not have any kids. And then Vidura asked, oh, why did Sati not have any kids? And that brings the whole discussion of what happened and how Sati Devi left her body before she had any kids. So do you know the story? It's a very popular story.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. So very good. So you can learn now. So all of you know Lord Shiva and Parvati, right? So if you go to the temple, you'll see a Shiva link of Lord Shiva. And then the Lord Shiva's family is, his wife is Parvati, his children are Kartikeya and Ganesh, right? So all this happened before Lord Shiva had a family with Mother Parvati. So Mother Parvati's initial incarnation was as Sati Devi, like daughter of Prasuti and Daksha. And Daksha did not like Lord Shiva, or he was very envious of Lord Shiva, but he had married off his daughter Sati, because Sati was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and the only thing she wanted was to marry Lord Shiva. So so after the marriage of Lord Shiva and Sati, there was a big sacrifice happening in the world. So all the great leaders of the world, they had come to be part of this big yajna, and they were they were really all present there, and everybody was sitting, and then Daksha entered the room, or they entered the assembly, and everybody arose from their seat or got up to respect Daksha. But only two personalities were sitting. One was Brahma and one was Lord Shiva. Now, Lord Shiva, if you look closely on this picture, Lord Shiva was meditating on Lord Krishna, actually. And he was meditating, and he didn't see Daksha come in. But Brahma didn't get up, because Brahma is Daksha's father. So when Daksha came in, he was very angry that Lord Shiva didn't get up, but first he went and fell on the feet of his father and paid respect to him. And then he started insulting Lord Shiva, saying that he's unclean. His name is Shiva, which means all auspicious, but he's not internally and externally, he is not auspicious. He called him a monkey-eyed person, and very, very bad insults were thrown at Lord Shiva because he didn't get up from his seat. Though Lord Shiva was the son-in-law of Daksha, Daksha didn't look at Lord Shiva as a great personality. He is the destructor of the whole universe, and all that Daksha wasn't looking. He was just saying, "Oh, he is my son-in-law. He is subordinate to me, and he didn't get up, so I'm going to insult him." And the insult was not. It was a deep-rooted envy that Daksha had for Lord Shiva, and he kept saying all these very, very bad things about Lord Shiva. And so Daksha became very angry. Lord Shiva didn't make any issues there. He just felt that this is not the right place, and he did not retaliate. Sometimes no retaliation is the best retaliation. So in this case, Daksha got very angry, and he started cursing Lord Shiva, and he said, nobody will provide any oblations of the sacrifice to Lord Shiva, and he was giving all these curses to Lord Shiva. And when this happened, Nandi is Lord Shiva's follower, right? His bull. And Nandi got very angry. And so Daksha and Lord Shiva left the arena, and Nandi cursed Daksha for giving all these bad curses, that they would all be stuck in the material understanding of the world, and they would just be doing fruitive activities. They would take repeated birth and death, and Daksha will get the head of a goat. So all these curses and counter curses were happening. Yeah, and then there was Bhrigu is a follower of Daksha, and Bhrigu started cursing Shiva and his followers that they would become atheists. They would be obstacles to genuine scriptures. They would become addicted to intoxication, and some of that you see, right? Some of the Lord Shiva's followers, they take intoxicants and things, say that this is how they serve God. They smoke marijuana and things like that. So even today we see that this is part of the curse that happened in the big Daksha Yaga. So so Lord Shiva had left, and Daksha also left, though Daksha was sponsoring or hosting the event. Since he felt he was disrespected, Daksha left, and then Shiva left, and then but the others, they continued with the sacrifice for 1,000 years. So now we'll continue with the third chapter, where there's a talk between Lord Shiva and Sati, Lord Shiva's wife Sati. So the tension between Daksha and Lord Shiva continued, and Daksha later, he decided to do another big sacrifice called Vajapi, and it's also called Brahaspati Seva. Brahaspati is the Acharya for the demigods. So to respect their Acharya, this is also a sacrifice they were doing. So Mother Sati saw all her family members go for this big sacrifice that her dad was hosting, but they were not invited. Lord Shiva and Sati were not invited to the event. And Sati said, I really want to go to my father's big party, because everybody is coming. I'm not as detached as you for not going to this. And Lord Shiva said, please be mindful, don't go for this, we are not invited. So Mother Sati said, oh, I don't need any invitation. I am Daksha's daughter, and I want to see my relatives. You better let me go to the program. And then Lord Shiva said he will not come because he's not welcome there. And for a person who's envious, there's no point going there and getting more insults. But Mother Sati was a little persistent, and husband and wife, they try to quarrel a little bit and have arguments against each other. So Mother Sati said, you should have stood up that day. Why did you? If you had stood up, all this wouldn't have happened. And Lord Shiva said, actually, I was meditating on the Lord, and if you're giving all respects to the Supreme Lord Krishna, it's like respecting everybody. So I wasn't actually disrespecting Daksha. It was Daksha who took offense because he felt himself to be too great, and he kept doing this. So Sati Devi was trying to praise her dad in front of Lord Shiva and trying to make Lord Shiva go. But Lord Shiva is saying he doesn't not like his father-in-law, or he doesn't hate him. It's just Daksha who is not liking Lord Shiva, and that's why he doesn't want to go. So Mother Sati said she still wants to go, and Lord Shiva said, sure, you can go. It's your own family, you can go, but I'm not coming. And then Lord Shiva told Nandi and his followers to take care of Mother Sati as she goes there. And Lord Shiva even warned Sati Devi that it is very dangerous that you're going to a envious person. You can even lose your life. So please don't go. But Mother Sati had made a decision to go to her dad's big program. So then Mother Sati went. And when Mother Sati reached the sacrificial arena, Daksha didn't pay any attention to her. This is the nature of being envious. So we know that Daksha didn't like Lord Shiva, and just because of that, he was even not giving any welcome to his own daughter. So Sati Devi got very offended. So my own father doesn't like me here. But her mother, Prasuti, and her other 15 sisters, they all came and welcomed her and gave her a seat. Um, but Daksha didn't even, pay any attention to his daughter because he hated Lord Shiva. Then Sati Devi also saw, and as the sacrificial arena, every demigod should be respected. And as they were respecting all, only Lord Shiva was not being respected in the oblations. And Mother Sati got very, very angry, and she told her dad that this is not right, what you're doing. Lord Shiva is very renounced, and he has so many devotees. He is one of the expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And why are you disrespecting this great personality like this? And Mother Sati said, I'm very I feel very bad that the body that I have came from you, because Daksha is her dad. And she said, I don't want this body anymore that that you have given me, because you're such a bad person. And she invoked the fire element within her body, and the body just burnt into ashes. So in front of everybody who had come to the assembly, Sati Devi's body got burnt into ashes. And even while that was happening, the hard-hearted Daksha didn't care for his daughter. So we see here how deeply rooted envy and pride is. So sometimes we, even for our own very close people who we have spent a lot of time with, and they have been very close to us. But when we become too proud and envious of them, we don't care for any of that. So that's what Daksha is showing here, that Daksha is so stuck with his anger for Lord Shiva, he didn't even care for his daughter dying. So then the news of Mother Sati's passing reached Lord Shiva. Narada Muni came and told that to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva was very, very angry that he lost his wife in this way. So he created a personality called Veerabhadra. So as you can see here, he's a very, very powerful demon-like person. And Santoshi and Nitinji, you must have seen Veerabhadra right behind Lord Shiva's Shivaling in the ICCT temple. You can, that it is written Veerabhadra. So this is that personality, and this is how he was formed. He was created by Lord Shiva to kill Daksha and his followers. So then Veerabhadra came to that assembly, and he cut off the head of Daksha and all the followers. He cut the mustache of Bhrigu, and all those started happening. So yeah, before Veerabhadra came, Nandi and the other followers who had bought Sati, they were trying to fight Daksha for all the bad things that were happening. And they were stopped by Bhrigu Muni, who created an army of soldiers called Ribus. And these Ribus, Bhrigu created Ribus, and Ribus were fighting with Shiva's followers, but Shiva's followers couldn't do anything. And by that time, Veerabhadra came, and then there was total destruction everywhere. And he was giving a lot of punishments to Daksha and his followers. So like Brigu's half mustache was, some people who were looking and enjoying the scene, their eyes were plucked out, and all those uh, uh, things, very bloodshed and violent activities were happening with Veerabhadra in the scene. And then all the demigods became very afraid, and they ran to Brahma, and then they prayed to Brahma and said, "Oh, this happened, please help us." Then Lord Brahma said, "Okay, I will come," and they all go to Kailash hill to meet Lord Shiva. And Lord Brahma prays to Lord Shiva to pacify his anger and bring back all these personalities who are required to further creation by Brahma, right? So he prays to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva gives the benediction that you can bring all these personalities. I'll bring them back to life. And he took a goat head and put it um, on Daksha, whose head was gone. So a goat's head became attached to Daksha's body. So sometimes in temple carvings and all, you can see a person with a human body and a goat's head, and that's actually Daksha, who got the blessings of Lord Shiva to live again. So Daksha came back to life, and he started saying, "I'm so sorry that I did all these bad things to you, Lord Shiva. Please forgive me." And and Lord Shiva forgave Daksha and his followers, and they all went back and did the sacrifice after that in a better way. And then what happened was Mother Parvati. So you can see here Lord Shiva giving blessings to Daksha with a goat head, and he completes the sacrifice. And then they all do a sacrifice for Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, and then the Lord comes and blesses everyone, and everybody praises the Lord, and the Daksha completes the sacrifice. And it's also said that Mother Sati, who left her body, was born as the daughter of Menaka and Himalayas. So Himalaya, the mountain, the personification of the mountain, is Mother Parvati's father, and her mother is Menaka, and she was born, and then Lord Shiva marries Parvati. So it's a happy ending to the story, though it spans multiple lifetimes. But this is what happened, and how Daksha's pride was crushed. And it's also a great lesson for all of us that we shouldn't become proud. Even though we're given a great position as the Prajapati or a great ruler. Prajapati means Brahma had given Daksha a very high post to become the progenitor of the whole universe, and that made him a little proud. And his pride, he was taking his pride against a personality who is a great Vaishnava like Lord Shiva, and then he had to learn the lesson the hard way. So all of us can learn from all these experiences that is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, so that we don't make the same mistake. We can be humble. If we are given very high positions in our life, that's just the blessing of the Lord to allow us to serve Him better. And we should never see that as our own achievements and thinking ourselves the greatest. We should always pass any praises we get to the Supreme Lord, because He is the one who arranged all those good things to happen for us. So with that, we can go to the Kahoot for today. Any questions before we start?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Diana, can you come? The phone is with Nima. Nima, can you give the phone to Ayana to play Kahoot? You can play with her. Turn on the light. Okay, you can play with Ayana. Can you pull the chair and sit with her? Okay, 976526 is the code. Okay. Ayana and Nima, A plus N. Okay, all of you have entered, Nitinji, Santoshi, and Ayana and Nima. So let's start. Okay, the first question is, the 17th question. Who was the daughter of Swayambhuva, Manu, and Shatrupa? Akuti, Prasuti, Devahuti, all of the above. All of the above. Congratulations. All of you got it right. Excellent. Next question. Who were the Manu Putras? Uttanapad, Priyavrata, both, none. Yes, both. Uttanapad and Priyavrata. We'll discuss about them. Uttanapad we'll discuss in the next class. Uttanapad's son is Dhruva. And all of you must have heard about Dhruva, the great devotee of Krishna. So we'll discuss that next class. Okay.
You won.
Yeah. Who was the son of Akuti, also incarnation of Vishnu, that was raised by his grandfather Swayambhuva Manu? Kardama, Kapila, Ruchi, Yajna. Yes, Yajna is the right answer.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
No,
Santoshi is in first place.
you know.
Who was the daughter of Devahuti that married Atri Rishi? Kala, Anasuya, Shraddha, Gati. Yes, Anasuya is the right answer. Who were the sons of Atri and Anasuya that were incarnation of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva? Soma, Dattatreya, and Durvasa.
Incorrect.
So yeah, I think all of you got it right, wrong, because I didn't mention this. So Atri and Anasuya. Anasuya is one of the daughters of Devahuti, who had the three sons who are the representation of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Brahma's portion is Soma, then Lord Vishnu is Dattatreya, and Lord Shiva is Durvasa. We all heard Durvasa so many times, right? The angry Rishi. So he's actually incarnation of Lord Shiva, and his parents are Atri and Anasuya. And Anasuya is none other than Devahuti's one of the 9 daughters.
You got it.
So,
You got it.
okay.
You're really bad.
Who were the parents of Sati Devi who married Lord? Who were the parents of Sati Devi who married Lord Shiva? Atri, Anasuya, Daksha, Parsuti, Kardama, Devahuti, Akuti, Ruchi. Yes, all of you got that right. Excellent job.
Gigi won. No, Gigi just got one right. Gigi got 3, 7, 11.
Okay. Who were the 2 personalities who did not rise from their seat when Daksha entered the assembly of
3,
leaders of the universe?
4, 5.
Prasuti, Sati, Nandi and Bhrigu, Ganesh and Kartikaya, Brahma and Shiva. Yes, Brahma and Shiva. They didn't get out of their seat, get up from their seat. Okay, how did Daksha insult Lord Shiva? Called him monkey-eyed, mad and inauspicious, unclean, impure heart, and lord of ghosts, all of the above. Yes, all of the above.
All of the above.
Okay. Okay. What was the curse of Daksha on Lord Shiva? He becomes separate from his wife, he loses hair, he will not have a share in sacrificial oblations, his wife would die. So what was the curse? Yes, he will not get any sacrifice.
She won the race.
Very good.
Right. Chichi got.
10th question. What was the curse of Nandi on the Brahmanas and Daksha? Will not be able to get spiritual knowledge. Daksha will get a goat's head, become beggar to satisfy the body, all of the above. Yeah, all of the above. Okay, Nitinji is now in first place. What did Bhrigu Muni curse the followers of Lord Shiva? Become atheists, deviated from sacrificial rules, addicted to wine and flesh, all of the above. Very good. So cursing and counter cursing. The sacrifice continue without Shiva and Durvasa present for 1,000 years. True or false? True. Yeah. Very good. All of you got it right. Okay, 13th question. Who did Daksha not invite for the great sacrifice called Vajapeya? Yes. All of the above is the right answer. Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva's followers, and Sati Devi were not invited. Okay, who were the warriors who stopped Shiva's followers' attack from after Sati left her body? Narayan Sena, demigods, Ribus. Oh, very good. All of you remember that name. And it's very close. Nitinji is in first place. Santoshji, Ayana, and Nimai. Okay, 15. Who was the fierce personality created by Lord Shiva to kill Daksha? Bhrigu, Nandi, Veerabhadra, Narakasura. Yes, Veerabhadra. All of you got that right. Excellent. Second last.
Guys.
Who did the demigods approach to pacify Lord Shiva's anger and revive back Daksha? Vishnu, Brahma. Yes, Lord Brahma.
Good.
So after Brahma came with all the demigods to Lord Shiva, and then they did the sacrifice, and Lord Vishnu came there. So don't confuse that. They went to Brahma to pacify Lord Shiva. Okay, Sati was reborn as Dash, daughter of Menaka and Himalaya. Parvati, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Radha. Okay, let's see who is on the podium. Third place goes to Nitinji. Second place goes to Ayana and Nimai. And first place goes to Santoshji. Congratulations. Everybody who played are winners. This is just for fun.
You won.
All of you have learned about the wonderful pastimes of the Lord in Srimad Bhagavatam.
You won.
Pancha kalpata rupascha kripa sindhupe evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Have an amazing Krishna conscious week, and we'll meet again next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Babuji. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too. Hari Bol.